everyone, welcome to my little corner where there is no wrong way to play with paper, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today in this video we are going to do a quilt blocks series layout. So what that is where I take a quilt block and I transfer it to paper and I make a 12 by 12 layout. So I hope you guys will enjoy this one. This one is for Miss Deb, who commented she would like to see the double wedding ring pattern. So that's what we're going to do. It took me a couple weeks, but I figured it out. So let me show you my example. Now this week I only have one example. And this is my example as Mr. Junior. He was a little heartbroken. He had a summer little romance and she broke up with him and it made him sad. That's so cute. Anyway, so that is what I've done. Now the double ring pattern is here. This is what you're going to see. Normally you guys will see me do an entire 12 by 12 block, and then you would see me do a smaller version of it. I'm not gonna lie, this one was a challenge. And so if you wanted to do this, you could continue this, do 2 rows of it if you wanted to, or you could choose to do it smaller. I'm gonna show you how you're gonna do that. It is gonna take a little bit of time, so just grab a snack and let's hang out together. Okay, so there's my example. Now let me show you how you're gonna do it. You are going to do it in 2 different ways. Now, if you are blessed enough to have the Creative Memories circle cuts, this would be simple. It would literally not take you very much time. But I gifted mine away a long time ago because I even sold Creative Memories and I had every single template that you can imagine, and I just didn't use them and they took up a lot of space. So I got rid of them probably, well, before I sold my house when I sold my house in Colorado. So it's been 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago? Yeah, because we lived in the RV. I don't know, like you guys know, right? So it's been a while. So I had to come up with a different way. And the way I did it was with a compass. Just a good old compass. Now mine's kind of heavy duty because I like to, sometimes when I would quilt, I would make my own patterns. And when you want to start doing shapes and circles, sometimes it's easier to make a pattern and then to put your fabric on there. It's called paper piecing. People that quilt know that. Now, this is not necessarily the way this is supposed to be done. There is an actual pattern of pieces that you cut fabric out of to do this. That just doesn't work for what I wanted to do. I wanted to use scraps because you will see over here on the side I have these made. So you will see that, oh, I have glue stuck to my hand. Yep, I already did. Oh my gosh. I thought I cleaned my board up and everything. Okay, you'll know why when you see how I made these, because I recorded it separate and I'm going to fast forward it. It took me 15 minutes just to make these 3 rings. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch that. But you will see I use scraps to make this ring, right? So I wanted to figure out a way to not cut into bigger pieces, because for me, the scrap series really is about using scraps. Or the quilt block series, pardon me, really is about using up my scraps and using the things I have and making something beautiful, right? We're gonna make that paper that we pay a lot of money for stand out. That's what a quilt block does. Like, that's why we don't need a lot of embellishments. You will see on my example, I don't have a lot of embellishments. I don't. The paper is the pretty part of it, okay? Now, while doing this, I've learned a few tricks, so I'm going to share them with you. One, if you're going to do a full page where I'm going to continue to reference this, where you're going to do 2 of these, you're going to need 6 rings, right? If you're going to do it the way I did it, you're going to need 3. However you choose to do it, this is my suggestion, so you only have to use your compass once because you want them to match, right? They need to be exactly the same. So the first time I did it, I did this, I cut it out, and then I traced it. Yeah. Now, if you did it with cardstock, I think it would have worked better, but I was plain and I didn't want to waste my cardstock because I'm cheap. So you will see here, this is an actual pattern. I'm going to use the B side and show you how to do the compass. But this is the actual pattern for this. And I tried printing it off in different sizes. I think these are all the big ones. I tried lots of different ways. Okay, this is gonna drive me crazy. Lots of different ways to do this. You're gonna hear my daughter doing her chores. She's back to me. Okay, so we're going to need 3 of these. This one worked the best for me to use scraps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the middle of the page, I'm gonna take some tape and I'm going to line it up. Got little whimsies everywhere. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna cut it, okay? So then those two are stuck together. And why I didn't think of this the first time I was trying to figure this out is beyond me. Consider myself a smart person. Work smarter, not harder. No, I worked harder, not smarter the first time. Okay, so now if you're gonna do 6, layer 6 pieces of paper, okay? Then you are going to take your compass and you're going to pick a spot and you're going to adjust it to wherever you want it to be. Now you do not want these to be super, and then you're gonna start making your circle. Keep this down. You do not want the point to move. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Okay, so you're not gonna want these super thick circles. You're not, okay? There's one circle. All right, and I can see my indentation, so I know when I go to make my circle a little bit bigger, this one that I did is too wide. These, you see, these are not that wide, right? They're not. They can't be, because then you're never gonna fit them on the paper, all right? Because you need them to overlap. You're going to put it back in the hole that you had it to begin with, because while mine, I could adjust it, a lot of the other ones you can't. So you're gonna adjust it to the width that you want it to be, okay? Let's go a little bit wider, all right? And then you're going to create that second circle, okay? Hold the middle, just pull it around, just like we did in high school math that they now do in junior high, right? And there's my second circle, okay? Then I'm gonna take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut all of them out at the same time. That's why I used my tape runner on them, okay? And just like so, you guys know me, when I'm filming, I get my own head. So cut it as straight as you possibly can, okay? All the way around. Now I used copy paper. I always save my paper that I've printed on. I'm not gonna use, because I use it a lot when I make embellishments like this. I mean, by the time I get all the different cardstock on there, it's gonna be really sturdy. Okay, so then I'm gonna take it and I'm going to trim it up just a hair. This you can do with what you like. Okay. Then what I did, now you could take an X-Acto knife and make a little hole in here. You could take, sorry for my reach, you could take some fussy cutting scissors. You just need to get in here. Okay. Now I will tell you, I found it easier, and you will see in the video when I'm putting these together, I'm going to do a voiceover for that. But you'll see that I used my little scissors on the inside because they're easier to manage, and my big scissors on the outside when I was trimming it up. Okay, so now all I'm gonna do is just start going around the inside, okay? Now, putting them together the way I did in the beginning, taping them, it makes it a little bit thicker paper, and I think it's easier to manage to cut. Now, you can do them all individually. You can cut one, trace them, like I said, and if that's easier for you, do it your way. No wrong way to do it. This is just what worked best for me in my trial and error. I knew how I wanted to do it. I just needed to make sure it would work. I don't think I would try to do this in a smaller version, but you could. Like, you could get it small enough that you could use border strips with it. Now, when you get towards this end, this no longer is together. This is, but this is not. So just hold on to both. And there we go. That, just like that, I have 3. Oh my goodness, I have so much. When you see how I did that, you will see why I have so much glue all over me. Okay, so this one, I went a little crazy with the tape. So I'm gonna take my tool here. There it is, sticky there, because that'll drive me crazy. Same here. And I'll probably keep these, to be honest with you, and I'll probably do another layout later. I do like it. I think it turned out very pretty. Okay, it would be really good. This would be super cool for a wedding page. That's why I'm gonna keep them. My brother just got married, so I'm thinking I'm gonna create them a wedding page, to be honest with you. Okay, so now what you wanna do is you wanna pick a color scheme. Now, to do this, I went with blue because I had a lot of blue scraps. This one, I picked out a scrap in my scraps that I liked, that I knew was 6 inches and would be this. And then I picked the colors from that. You can see I picked the green, I picked the pinks, the corals. That's what I went with. You probably could have done a little yellow even, but that's what I did with. And you pick whatever colors are best for you, however you have your tiny scraps. I have mine next to me in little bags, and these are the ones I used. Like, they are, look, see, you'll see the papers right there. They are the ones that I used. Here I think I used that one there. I don't know. Oh, but so now I'm going to do the voiceover. Sorry, I didn't know any other way to do this. Otherwise, this video is going to be way too long. So let's go through the voiceover and I'll talk you through what I did, and we'll come back and make the base page that I'm going to give away at the end of this series, remember? So here we will come back and do that. All right. All right, you guys. So here I am doing the scraps on the circle. Now, I will tell you, if I were to do this again, which I do plan on actually, like I said, I'm going to do a wedding layout. I would ink the inside and outside edges of this. And when I go to cut the scraps away, you're going to see why. So first I start by putting a line of the tape runner, and then I just start piecing scraps together. That's what I do. I mean, it's not really that big of a complicated mess. It's just figuring out which ones I want where. So I'm going to add a little bit of music right here, and I will come back in between, like when we start to cut, I'll tell you why I would ink that. So enjoy a little bit of music, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so I am starting to cut, and if you look closely, it is hard. The reason I would ink these circles is because it is hard to see when it's white on white. So then you want to try to cut in a manner that is straight, right? Like, we don't want our circles all squiggly lined. So I use the small scissors on the inside because it's a little bit easier to control. I use the bigger scissors on the outside because, again, it's easier for me. But do whatever works best for you. There's no wrong way. Then once I cut, I start all over again, and I will continue to do this until I get around the entire circle. And then at the end, you will see me using my quick dry Scotch tacky glue to just tack down any little ends. I don't want them moving around. So I'm going to go back to the music and let you guys finish watching this, and then we will come back to a live video. so that is how you make the circles and go through that process. And once you've done that, then I'm going to take this. It's just a 6 by 12. And I'm just going to line it up on a piece of white cardstock. Now you could use whatever base you want. I'm just picking this because it is fairly neutral and I am going to give it away. So I don't want to make it something that someone would not use. Okay. Then you're going to take your rings and we're going to line them up the way they need to be. Okay. You want them to have this here. This is really important, this design. So we're just going to arrange them so that that works. Okay. And then I'm going to take the middle one up and I'm just going to tack it down. Now I'm going to tack these down pretty good because I don't think if I left them loose, one, I don't think anyone's going to want to really tuck anything into there. And two, I'm afraid in shipping they might get a little bit crazy. Okay, so let's go there. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Oh, I can't even remember what I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, no, that's not what I was going to say either. Jeez. I'm trying to pay attention here. It's too much pressure. Oh, that's what I was going to say. While it did take me a minute to figure out how I was going to do this so I could use my scraps and not big papers, this is why I have glue all over my hands. While it took me a minute to figure out how to use scraps and not big papers, once I figured it out, honestly, this is not hard at all. It isn't. It'd probably take you about 15 minutes to do a layout if you do it the way I did with the compass. Okay. Now, let's see here. I'm looking for that design in the middle there, and just like that, looky there. Isn't this gorgeous? You could even like do a little strip here. Okay. So it would be really pretty with a brown here. And in fact, I think I'm going to put that on there. So, but I'm just going to temporary adhese it. I'm not going to make it permanent. That way, if somebody wants it gone, they can take it off. I just think that is gorgeous. Oh, I almost want to keep this one. It's pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, that's pretty. And you know what the funny part is? I'm pretty sure this paper and this paper is to that line. All right, so there it is. Pretty easy once I figured it out. Now, make sure that you think about those tips I did in the voiceover. And I hope you enjoyed this series. If you want to see a certain quilt block, put it in the comments. I will do my best to do it. It might take me a little bit like it did with Deb's, but by golly, I will get it done. Alrighty. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.